Back with the remix. These boys are my sons like Phoenix. My city.
The influencer family is pumped to announce our NIL Suite, a new offering that will begin with a product feature called Data Services that will empower head coaches and their staffs to recruit compliantly around NIL while giving student athletes the metrics around social media that will produce a content strategy to maximize their brand building in the NIL era. And today we are excited to announce that influencer partner West Virginia Football is the first college football program in America to add this impactful offering to their existing influencer partnership.
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
So I now have the pleasure of being joined by West Virginia Football head coach Neal Brown. And Coach Brown, you've been an early adopter since I met you. Back when Influencer was founded 3 years ago now, you were our third ever client. 100 plus college athletics partners later, 700 plus teams, 22,000 athletes. You're now the first college football program to take advantage of this NIL Suite Data Services offering that we're piloting. And I just got to ask, why are you investing in this first?
We talk about, well, Jim, I appreciate the kind words too. And I am one of the younger ones, but I don't know how long I can stay that way. So, I'm getting hit by a lot of different angles right now. So hopefully I'm starting to get a little gray in my beard and in my hair. And I'm not sure if that's because I got 3 kids, because of COVID, or what's going on. But I appreciate the kind words. Here, in a real simple answer is this, is we have a mission statement in our program, and it's the same that it was at Troy when we helped get that program back where it needed to be. And the mission is really easy, and it's really our why of our program. I think it's important. You got to understand what's your why. Our why is to serve and develop what we say total Mountaineers. And Influencer has helped us serve and develop our players. We're a players first program. We've been all in with the product since Jeremy McClain introduced us, and we were able to spend some time together. I think it was extremely beneficial to our players at Troy and our football brand, our program's brand at Troy, and we brought that here, and our players have embraced it. I think they've used it. We've looked at the numbers just like you have, and what our players have been able to do on their social media platforms, the voice they have, has been incredible. And I think influencers played an important role with that.
It means a lot, Coach. And, when I look back at our history, early on at Troy, when we formed our partnership, you and athletic director Jeremy McClain at the time, he's now at Southern Miss, asked me to come down and speak to your team. And when I addressed your team, it was clear to me that you had already talked about brand in social media with them. They were keen and aware of the opportunity they have to grow a brand. And so talking about that word brand and thinking about the fact that when I see a Nike logo, I think something. When you see the logo of your favorite restaurant, Chick-fil-A, whatever it is, you think something. What do you want people to think when they see that West Virginia football logo?
Yeah, so I think that you look at it a couple different ways. And first of all, what I'll tell you is that WV logo that's right over my shoulder here is one of the most recognizable logos in all of athletics. And you're talking about a state where we have approximately 1.8 million residents. And whether it's licensing, social media following, in our athletic accounts, is this WV is really recognized a ton of power. And so I think you look at it a couple different ways, is first of all, what does our state represent? Because I think it's important, because we don't have another Power 5 school in our state. There's no professional sports franchises, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, nothing like that calls West Virginia home. So we are West Virginia's program. We are West Virginia's football team. And so I think, first of all, what is that WV? What does it stand for as it pertains to our state? I think it recognizes a humble group of individuals, hardworking achievers, it's I think that's what our state stands for. And then on the football field, what we want and what we're trying to work toward our uh, football program's brand is being, we want fun, we want positive energy, we want it to be about our players. We want to play, we want our brand to be recognized for high scoring on offense, on defense. Um, care. We want people to know that we care. We care about our players. We want our players to understand that they care about everything that goes into our program, everything that goes into our state. So that's really it's a big question. And I don't think it's a one-word answer, but that's probably as comprehensive of a look as I can give to you.
Yeah, that makes sense, Coach. I think that you describe it really well. And I think that the reality is there is a thought that comes to everyone's mind when they see that logo right away. And you're helping to cultivate the story they hear in their mind. At the same time, there's a story that you're helping cultivate in recruiting around NIL and how you're supporting the social media brand building of your student athletes. So let's talk about how NIL is shaping your recruiting strategy.
Well, social media, I'll answer the first part of it first. Social media has become a huge presence in recruiting, whether it's through communication, whether it's through messaging, branding, however you want to say it. But it is. And what we're trying to do with our social media accounts, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, whatever, we're trying to tell our story to the demographic that's on the mediums. We want to be the one telling our story. And it's the same thing that we talk to our players about, is tell your story. Don't let somebody else tell the story for you. Is we all talk about, what do you want to be about? Who do you want to be? Who you're trying to be? All right. Or what are your, and then, okay, what are your future goals? And then let's develop who you are and the story you're telling for your future goals. And so that's how, I think that's how we're trying to teach our players. We spend a lot of time because I think it's important. That's their voice. And they have to understand is their voice, because of that, because of the uniform they're in, it's powerful. And so they got to make sure that they're conveying the message they really want to send.
There's no doubt about it, Coach. And let's be honest, there are going to be a lot of different recruiting styles and strategies out there because of NIL now. And some of them will not be compliant because it's clear you can't promise deals to a prospective student athlete. And of course, you want to not only stay compliant, but you want to paint a vision of empowering their brands to grow in value for them to go realize. You've really leaned in on this with us as far as how we've rolled out this data services portion of the NIL Suite to help you show a recruit how much you can build their brand and thus their NIL value for them to go realize. Talk about that.
Well, I think you can either embrace it or complain about it, but however you're going to go about it is it's coming down the road. I don't think there's any way to avoid it. And so what we try to do within our program is we've just said, hey, this is coming. How can our players benefit? Because we don't have a professional sports organization here. And so I think athletes that are coming, potential recruits that are coming into West Virginia have a tremendous opportunity here with NIL that maybe at other spots they don't. Maybe because there's competition in the market. Maybe they're competing with other Power 5 programs. Maybe they're competing with other professional businesses. Where here, our student athletes, especially football-wise, and it's true for men's basketball, and there's some other that are very visible here, but they don't have the same level of competition for those NIL dollars. So we've chosen to embrace it. Let's educate our players. We've partnered with influencers because I'm a big believer in I'm not an expert in branding. So let's go hire the best. And so we see you all as the experts in your in branding and storytelling. You're the experts. So we want to bring the experts to our players. And so that's what we're doing. That's what we hope to accomplish with this partnership.
And that really sets us up for where I want to end our conversation, which is on the topic of NIL legislation and the recommendations that have been pushed out thus far. Now, obviously, these are recommendations. There's still months ahead of us of debates around each key piece of framework to figure out what the final regulations are. But looking at them today, there's some significant limitations around your involvement as a program in the realized NIL value by your student athletes as far as monetization commercially. Talk about your thoughts about the legislation and just any thoughts you have on where it should be to help you put your student athletes in the best possible place with NIL.
I think that what you're going to see is, just like any new legislation that comes, is it takes a lot of manpower to form the compliance around it and then to make it happen. And I think that's what you need here is the NCAA needs to give some guidance. The legislation as its current form, I don't think that's what will pass. I think it'll be quite a bit different. And really what we're waiting on. We know it's coming. We know there's going to be an NIL. We just don't know exactly what it's going to look like. But I think we're going to need some clear guidance from the NCAA of how to bring it to fruition and then how to make sure that people are complying with it.
Well, Coach, I just got to say we continue to appreciate our partnership with West Virginia Athletics, and especially West Virginia football. You have made an innovative investment with INFLCR to add our NIL Suite Data Services offering, and your student athletes, coaches, and overall program are going to benefit off of it, and that's what we're most excited about. So thank you for your passion for athletes and their brands and your continued partnership with INFLCR.
I'm excited about it. Appreciate what you guys do.
Holiday logged in. My body got rid of them toxins. Sports in the top 10.